In this video, I'm going to be renovating this cheap dresser to help it match the aesthetics of the room and also make it look a little more high quality and custom. I'll be replacing the 3 drawer fronts as well as that top changing table portion. I'm using all Baltic birch plywood, which makes this project really affordable, and it matches what's already existing in the room. These pocket holes are what I'm going to be using to attach the sides to this changing table, without any visible fasteners. Here I'm just using a 1/2-inch roundover bit to round over the top edge of all of the boards of the changing table portion. I'm going to be doing both sides, so it will create a sort of a semicircle on top of the board. This will prevent any sort of sharp edges so that the baby doesn't scratch himself on the wood. I pre-sanded everything to 220 grit right off the bat before assembling to make it a lot easier, and I only used 220 and that was it, no additional sandpaper. And yes, I used drywall screws here because they were the right size and I didn't have the right Craig size screws. It doesn't really matter as long as you have a bit long enough to bend into the proper angle to screw into the pocket hole. For all of the other pieces of this project, I just used a 1/4 inch round over bit. Now here I decided to pre-mark where all of the screws are going to go to attach this to the actual drawer box. I'm also going to be using the screws as a little stand so that I can finish both sides without having to wait for one side to dry. You'll see here in a second that I partially screw the screws in and then I use those to help prop up the piece. I also added a slot in the bottom that you see right there. I did that off camera because every drawer style is different and you may need a different size slot cut in your drawer. I gave everything a quick vacuum and then wiped it all down with mineral spirits to remove any dust before finishing. And to finish these, I'm using my new go-to finish, Osmopolix oil. This stuff works really great, super easy to apply, and it's really hard to mess up. What I like to do is use these white Scotch-Brite pads, scrub it over the entire surface, and then wipe it all off so it's dry to the touch. And then I'll just repeat that one more time, and it's good to go. These drawers had an existing cross support that was made out of particle board, so I cut a new one out of plywood to make it a little sturdier. And that is the final product. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. It matches all of the existing Baltic birch plywood that I made for this room, and it helps improve the quality of the piece. It looks a little more custom, a little higher end, as opposed to the laminated fronts that were on there before.